Let's talk about the partnership, Trevor, with GlobalNorth. It's been, I think, more than 5 years that we've been collaborating with you. Uh, what really gives you comfort and conviction that we are truly your best partner in India? Trevor, great to have you here with us today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. I'm excited to speak a little bit about HomeFed and our partnership with GlobalNorth.
Let's talk about the partnership, Trevor, with GlobalNorth. It's been, I think, more than 5 years that we've been collaborating with you. What really gives you comfort and conviction that we are truly your best partner in India around here?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've been working with GlobalNorth now for over 5 years. This market here in India has become very important. It's been a rapidly growing market in the EB-5 space. And for HomeFed, we're so lucky to be working with GlobalNorth. They prioritize the investor's interest. You know, the investors here in India, they're smart. They understand business. They understand investments. They prioritize safety, transparency, compliance. These are all things that GlobalNorth emphasizes in their approach to the EB-5. So we know that when they're working with clients in the EB-5 space, our clients are going to be well taken care of. They're going to find the right project for their needs. They're going to think about things beyond EB-5. They're going to think about tax implications. They're going to think about nuances with individual situations and family dynamics. They truly put the investors first, and that's been so impressive for me to watch, and to watch GlobalNorth build this business, from the ground up over the last 5+ years. And we're very honored to be working with GlobalNorth, and we hope to continue this partnership for many more years.
Likewise, Trevor. Yeah. Thank you for your support as well. Trevor, let's start at the beginning. How did HomeFed come about?
So HomeFed was actually a chartered bank. And in the early 90s, the business was converted to a real estate business like we know it today, specializing in master plan community developments in San Diego, of course, where we're headquartered, but all around the country, where we're focusing on large-scale, complex master plan communities.
Perfect. Many EB-5 developers are home builders. What makes HomeFed different?
Yeah, so what's unique about HomeFed's model when we're talking about EB-5 is the fact that we're a master plan developer. So these projects are complex. We have multiple projects essentially combined into one development. We have for sale housing, we have rental apartments, we have retail, we have commercial, parks. So we are at the foundation of what is being built. We're ultimately selling lots to the home builders like Shea, Lennar, Brookfield, big national home builders that then build the product and sell to the end consumer.
That's interesting. So you essentially build the foundation for the developers to build the homes.
That's exactly right. We take a large swath of land. We take it through all of the approvals and entitlements, working with local and state governments. We implement all of the infrastructure, right? The roads, the utilities, the sewer, the sidewalks. And then the home builders come in and they just build homes, right? So we make the job really easy for them.
Gotcha. And what kind of developments has HomeFed completed over the years?
So we've completed a lot of very successful communities, again, specializing in master plan communities. In San Diego, we had the village of Vizcaya. We had San Elijo Hills. We had early phases of Coda Vera and a plethora of projects on the East Coast as well.
Gotcha. So these obviously are just not housing projects, right? I mean, they include things like schools and other amenities, etc.
That's right. It's really more like a little town that we're building. Right?
Gotcha.
We've got single family housing, rental housing. We have parks, we have public schools for the children, we have retail spaces, commercial. So these are very diversified communities, which are better, called a small town than a housing project.
That's pretty impressive. How does the EB-5 program fit into HomeFed's overall business?
So I'll tell you, 10 years ago when we first started the EB-5, it was a little bit of an experiment. Right? We were looking at a way to, bring in some low-cost capital to help develop these projects. Today, EB-5 has become a very integral part of what HomeFed's doing, right? It's not that we need the EB-5 funds to develop these communities, but we see it as a mutually beneficial partnership. So we're benefiting from a lower cost of capital, At the same time, we're able to provide investors with the safest EB-5 investment opportunity. So it's become a very important part of what HomeFed's doing. And this is my sole focus at HomeFed, has been developing and growing this EB-5 platform.
Let's talk about the investor safety, something every EB-5 investor cares about. What gives them confidence with HomeFed?
I think the most important thing to talk about here is our track record, right? We've had over 800 EB-5 investors now in HomeFed's EB-5 program, and we've repaid in full over 200 of those investors. As of today, 100% of our eligible investors have been fully repaid. In fact, some of them have been repaid early.
That's remarkable. What drives that kind of reliability?
It goes to the structure of our offerings, right? So again, we're the land developers. These are multifaceted projects. We're not building a single structure, a single project here. We have multiple projects essentially at the same time, multiple cash flow revenues. We're able to generate the revenues and cash flows needed to repay our EB-5 investors quite easily.
Gotcha. And obviously, because of the cash flows coming in, it makes it more reliable for the EB-5 investor to get his payment back in time.
A lot of time, cash flows are coming into the project before some of our investors have even invested, right?
Wow.
Because these projects are phased and we have multiple components. Revenues come very early in this development model where we're dealing with the home builders and not typically the home buyers.
Gotcha. And in terms of structure, how are investors protected?
Yeah, again, the structure of the deal. So HomeFed always puts its investors in a first position. And this is a very low leverage first position, right? We have a very, very large cushion in terms of project cash flows and debt on these deals. We keep a very low amount of debt on these projects, which makes it very easy for us to meet our obligations.
Trevor, let's talk about the new phase that you all have recently announced, Kota Vera 3. Can you share some details on the project and what it is all about, etc.?
Absolutely. We're very excited to announce the newest EB-5 offering from HomeFed, which is Kota Vera 3. So building upon the very successful Kota Vera community, this phase 3 includes 4 new residential communities within Kota Vera. In total, it'll be more than 800 residential units.
Wow.
Most of those being rental apartments, but also some for sale housing. We're very excited to bring this new offering to the market and again, support this much needed demand for housing in San Diego.
Perfect. And what about job creation? And that's something that EB-5 investors always talk about.
Yeah, of course. Job creation is the number one requirement to be successful in EB-5. So we make sure to create these jobs through the construction of these projects. And in this particular project, like all of our other projects, we're going to provide at least 15 jobs per investor, right? The requirement's 10. We like to provide a nice buffer there just in case something changes within the business plan.
Okay. Given that most of our EB-5 investors invest in HomeFed, how have these investments, transformed the landscape of San Diego?
Oh, that's a great question. HomeFed is a significant part of the home building effort in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have enough housing in San Diego. And with the help of EB-5 investors, we've been able to create thousands of new homes, thousands of new apartments. Mm-hmm. We've created thousands of new jobs. Mm-hmm. It's truly been a remarkable transformation. If you saw these sites 10 years ago, there was nothing there. Now there's thousands of homes, hundreds of families living in these communities. So truly, these EB-5 investors have helped facilitate a transformational project, helping build the San Diego community, specifically in the Otay Range.
Wow. And you must be noticing the difference, significantly, given barren land transformed into, these communities.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, I took helicopter rides 10 years ago. Uh-huh. It was just empty land. And now we go there today and it's a whole township.
You walk the pathways and you see the kids playing around. And
exactly. You got schools, you got new businesses, and it's truly a remarkable business and operation that's been implemented in part because of our EB-5 investors.
Perfect. In your experience, Trevor, what is the profile of investors that participate in HomeFed as an investment?
Yeah, there's a diverse number of different types of investors here, but typically we see C-level executives and their families, or specifically their children who are on F1 visa studying in the U.S. or possibly an H-1B visa working in the U.S., and they're investing on behalf of those children that want to stay in the U.S. on a more permanent basis.
So you've developed successful communities like Eskaya and Kotavera. What's next for HomeFed?
So HomeFed has a lot of work to do still in the Otay Ranch. Escaya and Cotavera were just the first two communities. We still have two additional communities to develop. So we've been there for 10 years. We'll be there for another 10 or 15 years developing and building out the Otay Ranch.
How big are the upcoming projects in terms of size, acreages, etc.?
Yeah, so they're very similar to the village of Escaya and Cotavera. So we're talking 2,000 to 3,000 units in a given community. In total, HomeFed's going to develop well over 10,000 residential units in the Otay Ranch.
How do you see this partnership evolving even further?
Yeah, we hope to continue building HomeFed's brand here in India, and we hope that alongside GlobalNorth, HomeFed and GlobalNorth can become synonymous with EB-5. So they can look to GlobalNorth and HomeFed as the first choice, the best choice when you're exploring EB-5 for yourself or your family.
Perfect. And that commitment comes right from the top at our end as well. Rajneesh drives it.
Absolutely.
And it all percolates down to us as well. And we are truly committed to the same.
Yep. And that's why we love working with you guys. It's always about the investor, prioritizing the needs of the investor.
That's it.
And by doing that, you guys have built a fantastic business.
Trevor, now that you've been raising EB-5 funding for so long, you've seen all sorts of, challenges, issues, pitfalls. Are there any suggestions or recommendations you would have for our investors to avoid in terms of mistakes?
There's so many different projects out there. There's so many different structures, so many different opportunities. It's really quite complicated. So I don't ever recommend for an investor to try and be an expert, to try and understand the best possible investment opportunity. So what I usually tell investors is align yourself with a partner that has your interest in mind. And that's where I would suggest if you work with someone like GlobalNorth, they're going to make sure that you put your money in a good spot. They're going to make sure that you make the right decisions regarding your EB-5 investment and your family's future. So again, there's a lot of red flags to look for in terms of regional centers and projects, but that's a very complicated discussion. The easiest answer is to work with a reliable partner like GlobalNorth that's going to put your interest first.
Thank you, Trevor. This has been a fascinating conversation, getting to know HomeFed's model of being a land developer and with early repayment of your EB-5 investors. This will give our EB-5 investors comfort and confidence in considering HomeFed and Kotavera 3 as the investment for their EB-5 program.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. We're honored to be a part of the EB-5 program. We're honored to present what we believe is the safest EB-5 offering. We're honored to work with GlobalNorth, who's truly the best partner we have here in India and the Middle East. And again, we're thankful for the opportunity and appreciate this conversation.